Hi everyone. If you couldn't make it to the We Do PD on Tuesday, either this week or last week, we wanted to go ahead and record a Loom video of the presentation so you could have those resources on your own time. So for this presentation, we are going to talk about some ideas and things that might help with virtual We Do's once we move to fully online. Something that is stressful about online teaching is that we can't see the kids' eyes necessarily if their cameras are off, but even if we can see their face on their camera, we miss a lot of those nonverbal clues that we get when we're in person. So we need to make sure that we're doing lots of different We Do activities to try and make sure that we can check for understanding. Some different resources we're going to talk today as far as We Do's are Canvas discussion threads, Nearpod, Explain Everything, EdPuzzle, Poll Everywhere, using quick checks, and then a We Do, and also Flipgrid. For Canvas discussion threads, kind of 3 ideas for ways you could use those. They're really good for whole class discussion in response to a teacher question. So as the teacher, you can post a discussion topic or question, and each student can respond to that question. For our second idea, you could have students generate those questions and post discussion threads and kind of talk to those student-generated ideas. The third thing you could do is create small discussion groups with the students. So split them up and have them discuss with each other in that discussion thread, either to a student-generated question or a teacher-generated question. One thing that's really important to remember with Canvas discussion threads is that we have to teach the kids what that effective online discussion is going to look like for our class. We can't just post a question and assume that they're going to know what we're looking for. So giving them clear expectations, whether that's, you post your own answer and you need to respond to at least one other student, something like that, that's going to give them a clear idea of what you're looking for in these Canvas discussion threads. The next resources are Nearpod and Pearduck, which are really similar. They're both add-ons or websites that allow you to kind of make a Google Slides presentation a little bit more interactive. Nearpod lets you create videos with that as well. Both of them can be created on their actual websites or on Google Slides and then used as an add-on. They have options for adding multiple choice questions, open-ended questions, drawing slides, other links, and the teacher can see student responses in real time. They also both have an option where you can assign it as what's called the student paced mode. So you assign it and the kids work on it at their own pace and you check it later. Or you can do a live session, which might be helpful during a Zoom class, where you control the screen and how fast the kids move through the questions. Explain Everything is a digital whiteboard tool, and there are lots of different digital whiteboard tools out there. This particular one allows you to record your screen as you draw, annotate, take notes, etc. Teachers can add in images, other videos, or even other documents into the whiteboard space, and they call their whiteboard space kind of unlimited. You can zoom in and zoom out, and it just keeps adding more space to your whiteboard so you won't start to draw or take notes and then run out of room. Explain Everything also lets students record and share videos. They can do that individually or as small groups. One thing to keep in mind with Explain Everything is that there is limited storage with that free version. So this might be a resource that you share across your department and multiple people make videos that everyone can use. EdPuzzle is a really good tool to help teachers add questions into videos. So you can kind of chop up a video and add open-ended, multiple choice, all kinds of different questions. There are 3 ways that you could use that for a We Do. You can use a video that already exists, so get a link off YouTube and add your own questions to it. You can upload a video that you created, so maybe you take a video of yourself writing out notes for your class and you upload that video and add questions. Or you can also search the EdPuzzle library, which has tons of assignments that have already been created by other teachers, and you might find a video with questions that you like. You can use it as is, or you can kind of tweak those questions to match what you're looking for. You can assign these videos in 2 different ways. You can do it as individual work where the students are working on their own, or you can use it in live mode and work as a whole class, which is a great way to practice that We Do, kind of walk through how you would answer those questions together. Poll Everywhere is another great resource. This has online class discussions. There's a picture in the background here of a Poll Everywhere. And you can use multiple choice questions, Q&A, word cloud surveys that let you do like social emotional check-in. There are all kinds of question types. And what it does is as kids respond, it loads those responses in real time. So you have a visual kind of your discussion and can talk through that together. You could post, for example, like a math question and have kids solve the problem that's on the screen. You could post vocabulary words and have the kids practice defining them or using them in a sentence. So there's lots of different options for you to kind of check in using Poll Everywhere as a We Do. An important thing to remember is that the We Do doesn't necessarily always need to come first. You could easily flip your classroom or give the kids some type of quick check and then use that data to inform your We Do. So for example, you could use a Google form, quizzes, Gimkit, any of those online games that we love. Give that to the kids. Maybe that's part of their at-home assignment on Thursday. And then you can review that data and think about what is it telling you? How could you use a We Do activity to address that data? And then maybe on Friday you pull a small group and you go over the skill that was lacking in that data from your quick check. So for example, maybe students in a foreign language class complete a Gimkit where they're conjugating ER and IR verbs in Spanish. The teacher reviews that report and sees that the student struggled more with the IR verbs. So then the next day, the teacher plans a virtual We Do activity to practice that skill. So using these quick checks is a great way to inform the redo and either use that as maybe reteaching. If you've already done a We Do, you're checking for understanding and you'll do a reteaching We Do. Or if you're going to flip your classroom, have the kids do this first and then use that We Do as part of your flipped model. The last resource we're going to talk about today is Flipgrid, which is an online video recording website. It's free for all teachers and students, which is awesome. There are kind of 3 different ways you could use Flipgrid that we're going to talk about today, but there are endless options with this site. The first idea is to use this as part of the student work in a flipped classroom. So instead of I do, we do, you do, we're going you do, we do, I do, and maybe have the kids do this as part of their work at home in that flipped model. You could also choose a student expert, and have them respond to other students' questions. And in that type of example, the students are working together as the We Do. And maybe you leave that discussion board on Flipgrid up and kids can post questions in there throughout the unit and the student experts can respond. Or you could also use Flipgrid as a quick check to address student needs in a We Do lesson after you view their Flipgrid videos. So maybe they respond to a quick check question on Flipgrid, you check their videos, similar to what we were talking about on the last slide, and then use that quick check to inform your We Do. Some other kind of general ideas, you can use Zoom breakout rooms for small group We Do activities. You can flip your classroom, have the kids do the You Do first and clarify questions in the We Do. Review those I Do concepts as a whole class. Start with an all-class Zoom and then pull your smaller groups for We Do practice. And you can also remember that We Do's don't necessarily have to be curriculum related. It could be things like brain breaks, maybe class spirit days, scavenger hunts to find things from their classroom. Anything that you're working on all together to build that classroom community could also fit into that We Do model. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot an email to either Kyle Belting or Emily Nafsker if you have specific questions about this presentation. We are working to put together a resource document of different ways that teachers in the building do virtual We Do's and kind of who are experts on those sites. So if you wouldn't mind filling out this Google form, that'll be in the presentation, and kind of filling out what you do in your room, we'd love to hear your ideas too. So thanks for watching.